So let's continue our discussion. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhigaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. So we had a gap of 1 week, so let us try to recapitulate what we have discussed in the last few classes. So we started the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita with Dhritarashtra's inquiry to Sanjaya, right? That was the first verse. So Dhritarashtra was blind. He is physically blind, he is spiritually blind also. And we could see his partiality towards his sons. The verse itself is depicting that he is asking what my sons and what Pandavas did on the battlefield. So from that inquiry itself, we can understand that Dhritarashtra was, showing partiality. And we have seen then from verse number 2 to 11, Duryodhana's diplomatic behavior, and he was describing the armies of both his party and also the Pandavas party. And we were seeing then from verse number 12 to 19, different personalities blowing their conch shells, right? And we have seen that the signs of victory of Pandavas also in this section. Basically, the Pandavas and Krishna's conch shell, blow of the conch shells was shattering the hearts of the Kauravas actually. And we have seen different different signs of victory of Pandavas, right? So one was the conch shell, then one was Krishna was on the side of Pandavas. Actually, I wanted all of you to say, but I'm just trying to save some time. But please, I hope you are able to follow what I'm saying. I hope all of you remember what we discussed. So Lord Krishna was on the sides of Pandavas, so that is one of the definite, one of the reason why Pandavas will be victorious in the battlefield. Secondly, then Hanuman was on the flag of Arjuna. Then also we have seen that the chariot which Arjuna was having was given by Agni Dev, which was very powerful, and the blowing of the conch shell is another sign of victory. So many signs of victories were there, and also the battlefield itself, the place of battle is Kurukshetra, which is a very spiritually potent place. So like that, few points we have discussed. Then from verse number 20 onwards, Arjuna is observing the armies and he is saying that I cannot fight with my relatives, right? And he is asking Krishna, in fact just before that he is asking Krishna to take his chariot into the middle of the armies and to see who have assembled in the battlefield. And he is describing about different kinds of relatives, right? We have already discussed that fathers, in the sense those who are fatherly, those who are grandfather-like personalities, children, and then sons-like personalities, and friends, uncles, like that. Different descriptions were there. And then finally, in the last section, Arjuna is saying that I will not fight this battle, and he is giving so many reasons, and we have discussed few reasons. Anybody remembers that? At least I wanted to ask you that. Anybody remembers any reason by Arjuna? What are the reasons? Yes.
He's compassionate, Prabhu. He's a compassionate towards his relatives.
Yeah, so that was the first reason Arjuna is saying that. One of the reason of Arjuna, which he did not want to fight because of compassion for his friends and relatives. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Any other reasons? Though we did not discuss in detail, but we have discussed what are the 4 or 5 reasons. Yeah, anybody remembers? Second one?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, he will have no enjoyment even if he is victorious.
Okay, so no enjoyment even if victorious. Okay, thank you. Third, anybody? Okay,
I will get
Yeah.
only sins if I can kill them and win the battle.
Yeah, okay, good, Prabhu, thank you. So, fear of sinful reactions was one of the third reason Arjuna is saying, yes. And fourth reason,
He will
yes, Prabhu.
finish the lineage of the Kauravas.
Yeah, right, I understand. Good, Prabhu, thank you. The destruction of family traditions and lineage, yeah, that is one of the reason he said, correct. Family tradition. We will explain, we will see that in the coming verses. We have not reached to that actually. We discussed the compassion part. I think, yeah, then we are in the second reason. No, we discussed the second reason also. First reason and second reason we already discussed in detail. Okay, and then finally, one more reason is mentioned as indecision, which we will see in the second chapter beginning. All right. So, first reason we already discussed compassion for relatives, and we have seen the bodily symptoms of Arjuna. Right, he is saying hairs are standing on the end, Gandhi is slipping from my hand, my skin is burning, I'm not able to stand, my mouth is drying up, my limbs are quivering, like so many things he mentioned. And second reason from 31 to 35 is no enjoyment or foreseeing no enjoyment in victory. So in that section we have seen Nachatreyo na anupashyami hitva swajan have a beautiful verse. Na kangshe vijayam krishna nacha rajyam sukhani cha. He's saying why I mean I do not see any good can come from killing my own people in the battle. Even if I am victorious, what happiness I will get, he's saying, right? Right. Now, let's go to verse number 36. Right. Okay, I'm going to share. So, for 36, 37, 38, the three verses, Arjuna is expressing his third reason for not fighting. Okay, fear of sinful reactions. That's the third reason. Pabam evashraye dasman hatvaitan atatayinah tasman naraha vayam hantum dhatarashtran sabhandhavan swajanam hi katam hatva sukhina syama madhava. Yes, please recite the verse. Anyone? Please.
Hare Krishna,
Yeah.
Pabam evashrayedasman hatva vaitan atadaya ina tasman narhavayam handum dardarashtan sabandhavan swajanam hi kadam hatva sugina syama madhava. Translation: Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and orphans. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune, and how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? Hare Krishna.
So here Arjuna is saying that papam eva shreya dasman, sins will overcome. Means sins will come. He is saying sins will come if I kill. Atatayina. Atatayina means if we skill such aggressors, basically Atatayina is aggressors. Sin will overcome us. So what should we gain? That is the question. How could we be happy by killing our own people? So now here, this is important. We have to say Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport also that according to the scriptures, there are 6 kinds of aggressors. This is as per Manusmriti. This is from Manusmriti basically. 6 kinds of aggressors So 6 kinds of aggressors means if we are killing these 6 kinds of aggressors, there is no sin actually. But Arjuna is not seeing Kauravas in this way, but actually Kauravas they have done so many sins against Pandavas, and all those sins what they have committed has actually all these kinds of 6 sins they have done, that we will see one by one. See, first sin is that one who gives poison. So 6 kinds of aggressors are: one who gives poison, one who sets fire to house, one who attacks with weapon, one who plunders riches, one who occupies others' property or land, and one who kidnaps others' wife. And all these 6 aggressors can be killed at once. Then there is no sin for doing so. This is as per Manu Smriti. So actually speaking, these Kauravas have done all these 6 kinds of sins against Pandavas. Poison giver, they have given poison to Bhimasena. Actually in Mahabharata it is coming. Bhima was poisoned. Then Bhima after poisoning him, he was thrown into the waters, and then by Krishna's arrangement, Bhima will go into the Varuna Loka. In fact, he goes to the different Loka, Nagaloka. In fact, then there he is seeing different snakes. In fact, in the Nagaloka, the head is Vasuki. So he is meeting Vasuki, and Vasuki and all the different snakes came and they bit Bhima. So because of that, it became antidote for Bhima. Because Bhima was poisoned, it was very, very serial poison. He was given by, he was actually, I think they gave him some food, and through the food was poison basically, and it is very, very dangerous poison he had. It went into his body, but the antidote was the snake poison. So when this snake started biting him in the Nagaloka, he became conscious. Till that he was actually unconscious. He was almost dead, but he came into life when he was bitten by the snakes. Then when he opened the eyes, he could see that he is in some other place. In fact, he was under the waters. So that time somebody said Vasuki came. Vasuki is the head of the snakes. So Vasuki understood that Bhimasena, he identified Bhima and said, we should not disturb him, we should not do anything. He is our guest, so we have to treat him nicely. Then they all decided to give Bhima something very special, and they decided to give them nectar, Amrit. So Vasuki provided Bhimasena nectar, and Bhima was continuously drinking pots and pots of nectar, which was supplied by these snakes in the Nagaloka. And finally what happened, after drinking all this nectar, this Amrit, he became very powerful. And he came out with the power of 10,000 elephants. He came out of the water, and that is what happened actually. That is one of the that was one of the way the Kauravas, they were actually poisoned him. So we can see that first, one of the sin which they did is giving poison. But somehow by Krishna's arrangement he was saved. But the Kauravas tried to kill by giving poison. So definitely this is one of the sin they have done. Second, one who sets fire to the house. This also happened in Mahabharata. The Pandavas were given wax palace. So Kauravas, Duryodhana and party, Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, they gifted Pandavas very beautiful wax palace, wax house. And why they have given wax house? We know that what is the property of wax. when it is set fire, it will melt, right? So they wanted to kill, fire this house, actually set fire to the house and kill all the Pandavas. That is why they have provided wax house, and they did that. They set fire on the house, but by Krishna's arrangement they were saved. They nothing happened to them. So second sin also they did. So we have seen that. Okay, now third, definitely they have attacked with deadly weapons, different occasions in the Mahabharata. We know that. Now plunders riches, this also happened because Pandavas, they were also eligible for the kingdom. So all the riches of Pandavas were actually taken by them, by the Kauravas. One who occupies another's land, this is again connected to what we said before, that the property belongs to Pandavas also, but Kauravas completely taken even Pandavas eligible, or the property, their land. And finally, one who kidnaps a wife. We know that what happened to Draupadi Devi, right? So they have, basically we can understand, they have completely transgressed all these 6 things, and they have done all the 6 kinds of sins. So definitely they can be killed. No sin will come to Arjuna or anybody, to any Pandavas, anyone, not only Arjun, anybody from the Pandavas. If they are killing Kauravas, no sin will be incurred, because they are aggressors. As per Manusmriti, there is no sin. Okay. So, but Arjuna is not remembering all this. First of all, he is not remembering at all. But Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport. And Arjuna is considering that this killing will be a sin. Killing will result in sins. So he is now saying that Arjuna considered that rather than kill his own kinsmen for political reasons, it would be better to forgive them on the grounds of religion and saintly behavior. So Arjuna is now basically not thinking in a Kshatriya line. He is thinking in a different way. He is a Kshatriya actually. He should behave like a Kshatriya, but he is not behaving like a Kshatriya. So he did not therefore consider such killing profitable simply for the matter of temporary bodily happiness. So Arjuna, in one way, as a saintly person, yes, we can understand Arjuna's feelings. We respect that. And but the thing is that this war was inevitable. This fight was inevitable, because to establish dharma, he has to fight, and he is trying to run away from his own responsibility or duty. That is not correct. It's not the compassion of Arjuna is wrong. Compassion towards the body is not that appreciable. We have already discussed that. Compassion to the soul, we should be compassionate not in a bodily level, but at the same time in a spiritual level. Yes, we should have compassion. So Arjuna had that was showing the compassion, but the quality of compassion itself is good. We are not saying that it's not good. Definitely it is good, but here he is trying to use that compassion, or he is having that compassion which is actually hiding, or we can say which makes him run away from his responsibilities and duties. That is not being encouraged by Krishna. So that is the only thing. Now few more verses. Let's see 37 and 38. Yadi apyete na pashyanti lobo pahata chetasah kulakshaya kritam dosham mitra drohe cha patakam katam na nyeyamas asmabhi papat asman nivartitum kulakshaya kritam dosham prapashyad birjanardana. Please recite.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhu. Yadyapetana pashyanti lobo pahada chedasaha kulakshaya kridam dosham mitra dohe cha padagam kadam na nyeyam asmabi papadasmani vartidam kulakshaya kridam dosham pabashyabd janardana. Translation. O Janardana, although these men, their hearts overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends, why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin? Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So here we can see so there is no fault there is no fault in killing. So here it's mentioned, O Janardana, although these men means the others, Kauravas, their hearts overtaken by greed, they are already greedy. So we know that how the Kauravas were behaving. So they wanted the entire kingdom. They were completely fully greedy, and they see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends. They are not seeing, they are not seeing any, they are not having any compassion, been fair to Pandavas. Correct? We are seeing that they are ready to quarrel, they are ready to fight. So, but Arjuna is asking, why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin? Okay, they don't see that, they don't have any feelings, they are ready to fight. But we can understand that this is not right, because this will destroy the family lineage, right? And also not only destroying a family, it is basically engaging in sins. It's a sinful activity of killing people, right? It's a crime. So why we should do? Okay, they don't understand, that's okay, but at least we should understand, right? That's what he is saying. Prabhupada says in the purport that Kshatriya is not supposed to refuse to battle or gamble when he is so invited by some rival party. Under such an obligation, Arjuna could not refuse to fight, because he had been challenged by the party of Duryodhana. So they have challenged Arjuna, so Arjuna has to fight. There is no way, because that's as per the Kshatriya codes. And we also know that why Yudhishthira Maharaj participated in gambling match. Actually, he is not interested to do gambling. Definitely, it's not a good thing to do. It's not a good thing to gamble. But because he is a Kshatriya, he was challenged by Duryodhana and party, so he had to agree to it. That is the only reason he participated in gambling match. Not that he is interested to do, or he wanted to cheat Kauravas. No, because he has to follow the dharma of Kshatriya dharma he has to follow, because he is a very respectable personality. People are seeing him as a great Kshatriya. So if you do not follow the Kshatriya codes, then the followers will not be yad yad acharati shreshas, means if a great personality, what a great personality does, the followers will definitely try to follow them, right? So if Yudhishthira Maharaj is not following Kshatriya codes, then he is not a good example in front of others, right? So he is obliged actually to participate in gambling match. Similarly, now Arjuna also is in that situation, but Arjuna is now trying to refuse the battle. Yudhishthira Maharaj did not refuse gambling match when he was challenged. He did not refuse. He said he had to accept it, no other way. So because he is a Dharmaraj, he will not deviate from dharma. Whatever dharma as a Kshatriya he has to do, he will do that. That is the nature of Yudhishthira. Arjuna is also like that, no doubt, but here now he is completely confused, and because of this confusion, we got Bhagavad Gita. So that's Krishna's arrangement. Yeah, so he was refused to fight. So these were the reason for third reason which Arjuna mentioned, that sin will overcome, or we can say fear of sinful reactions. Now let's go to the fourth reason. Fourth reason is already we discussed the title, that harmful effects or destruction of the family tradition. That was the fourth reason of Arjuna. So now let's see. Kulakshaye pranashyanti kula dharma sanatana dharme nashte kulam krishnam adharmo bibhavatyuta. Please recite.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Kulakshaye pranasyanti kula dharma sanatana dharmanaste kulam krishnam adharmo vibhavadetyuda. Translation: with the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion.
Thank you. So here we can see series of verses from 39 to 43. All these verses are basically the fourth reason, the harmful effects of destroying the family or destruction of family tradition, right? So here Arjuna is saying that with the destruction of the dynasty, because when we kill the Kauravas, we are actually destructing the dynasty, entire Kaurava dynasty, and the entire family tradition will be vanquished, and the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion. This is the reason by Arjuna. He is continuing in the next verses also. So Prabhupada mentions in the purport, the elder members of a family are responsible for purifying processes in the family, beginning from birth to death. But on the death of the elder members, such family traditions of purification may stop, and remaining younger family members may develop irreligious habits and thereby lose their chance for spiritual salvation. Therefore, for no purpose should the elder members of the family be slain. So this is a general thing what Prabhupada is saying, general general point, as we know that family traditions are important, right? And it is the responsibility of the elder members of the family to educate, to bring the younger generations, or to educate, or to make the younger generation practice the whatever religion or traditions they have to follow, correct? They should be a good example, right? And if the elderly people are not available, then the younger family members will not follow what they are supposed to follow, and they may develop irreligious things, irreligious habits, and that will destroy, or what we can say, that will make them lose their chance for liberation, or whatever spiritual advancement. So in that case, I mean, in taking that scenario into consideration, yes, so the presence of elder members are very much important. So from that point, Arjuna is saying, from a general perspective, but we should understand, as a Kshatriya, he should not be thinking all this actually, and nothing is going to happen for the tradition, family tradition, because it's basically what he is doing is re-establishing the dharma. Already there is irreligion, so he has to uproot the irreligion. So uprooting irreligion will not cause destruction actually of the dynasty, and these two families are actually same. They all belong to same family only. So definitely all others who will be remaining after the battle, that they will be taken care. If Pandavas are winning the war, definitely they will take care of them. They will take care of the other next generations, whoever is remaining. So definitely Yudhishthira Maharaj is such a great personality. So there is no chance of I mean to say, this war was, in fact, it will not destroy this religious war. This is a religious yuddha, religious war, will not be destroying the family tradition, because it has some purpose behind it. It's not just killing, it's not just fighting between two families and for some property, without having any dharmic foundation. It is not like that. This is something which is having importance of no dharmic importance, or what we can say is that it's a religious fight. So nothing to worry about this kulakshaya and all, like Arjuna is now thinking kulakshaya, there will be kulakshaya, etc. And he continues by saying this verse also. Let's see a couple more verses in the same line. Adharmabhi bhavat Krishna pradushyanti kulastriya strishu dushtasu varshneya jayate varna shankaraha. Yes. Please recite.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Adharma bhavata Krishna pradyushyanti kulase strishu dushasu vashaneya jayadevarna sankarha. When irreligion is prominent in the family of Krishna, the women of a family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood or descendant of Vrishni comes unwanted progeny. Hare Krishna.
Progeny.
Progeny,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's progeny. Yeah. Thank you. So here Arjuna is continuing by saying that, so he, in the previous verse he said that if the dynasty, there is a destruction of dynasty, then family tradition is vanquished, and the future generation will become involved in irreligion. He is continuing now saying that when irreligion is prominent, what will happen? Women of the family becomes polluted, and from the degradation of the womanhood, then there will be unwanted progeny. So whatever Arjuna is saying, in one way it is true, but not in this, it is not relevant in this context. That is what we should understand. Whatever he is saying is that not something which is not as per the scriptures, or as per the dharma. It is true, but the thing is that it's not relevant to the context. The thing is that he is now fighting a religious battle, and that is inevitable. He cannot avoid and he cannot run by giving all these excuses. But these are excuses, or we can say these are the facts actually what he is saying. Because if there is a religion, definitely the women will be polluted and degradation of womanhood. But now see, when a religion will not happen, as I mentioned to you, when a person, when a religious, a devotee emperor or king is ruling the kingdom, nothing will happen. They will protect the future generations also. There is no degradation of womanhood, or there is no family pollution or whatever, So that will be taken care of by the efficient, that king. So now he is thinking in, but whatever reason he is saying is in one way is having some logic, but not relevant to the context. This is what we can understand, right? Now, Prabhupada says in the purport some important points, like children are very prone to be misled, right? We know that very easily they will be misled by associating with with wrong. If he is having wrong friendship, the children are having bad association, they will be easily misled. They will be deviating from the path. So similarly, women are also very prone to degradation. So why? Because women are more emotional, so people will misuse, or will what to say? Yeah, misuse, we can say. They will be cheated easily. That is the point. So they can be cheated. So children, and so because of that, it is mentioned in the Shastras, both children and women should be protected by elder members. This is very important as per. So it is mentioned in Shastras three categories of people. One is children, one is women, and one is elderly people, or old elder members. All of them should be protected. We should give protection to them. Yeah, so now here children and women requires protection by others, by elder members of the family. So it's very important. So on the Prabhupada says, on the failure of Varnashrama Dharma, naturally the women become free to act and mix with men, and thus adultery is indulged in at the risk of unwanted population. This is related to the unwanted progeny or degradation of womanhood. This is what we can see in the current world, because there is no system of Varnashrama. In the Varnashrama, there was a tradition, it's like we know 4 Varnas and 4 Ashrama. So let's take the 4 Varnas here, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas and Shudras. And as per the scriptures, Brahmanas marry Brahmanas, the women of the Brahmani and Brahmana will marry, and Brahmana can marry a Kshatriya woman also, not a problem. That's not a problem. However, and Kshatriyas, they can marry Kshatriya, woman and man can come together, but there is no marriage between a Kshatriya man and Brahmani. Means a Brahmani woman and Kshatriya cannot marry. That's not as per the Shastras. So similarly, if you go down, Vaishyas and Shudras also, there are some protocols mentioned, like we also see in our tradition, right, that we see the horoscope, maybe seeing the horoscope, and we also generally all the arranged marriages happens from the same family lineage, we can say not lineage, or maybe what we can say caste system or whatever, though that caste system is not Varnashrama Dharma, by the way, but whatever we are having currently is definitely not Varna Ashrama, that system. However, there is some system we follow, correct? Like generally there is a caste system now currently, and we try to get married, and the marriage proposal comes in the same caste or whatever. So that is what is being considered to be ideal. Why it is like that? Because there are many things like the systems what we follow, others will also understand, because if we are getting married to a person in the same caste, definitely they can understand, or there will be some match, there will be some understanding, better understanding of the family traditions, understanding, and so some unity will be there, because the same systems they will be also following, we will be also following, so like that. So these traditions have got some importance, not that, or we cannot just avoid all these things. So seeing horoscope and seeing the matching family and all, it's all good, it's as per the, we can say, some system. But here, if there is no protection, if there is no proper protection of family traditions, what will happen? The irreligious things will come, and consequently what will happen? Women will be polluted, and when women are polluted, then there is going to be unwanted progeny. Means what will happen? There will be mix of caste or mix of marriage. There will be like what is happening in this current world. There is no restrictions, right? People are interacting with all classes of people, and there is no restrictions. And what is the result of it? Varna Sankara is what is happening currently in this world. Varna Sankara is mean unwanted progeny by the mixture of different castes. So what is happening is that there is no tradition, there is no family tradition being followed. What family tradition we can follow? We don't know from and this child belongs to whom and what kind of tradition they will follow. We can see so many things happening in this world. Complete Varna Sankara is happening because there is a free mixing of man and woman in this world currently. No, they are not following any Varnashrama system or anything. So that is the reason that spirituality is completely going away, because we don't know what is, because it's like a mixture of different consciousness. So definitely the result is the hellish life. The problems what we face in this world is all because of this unwanted, first of all the traditions, religious traditions are have stopped and irreligious things have increased. Religion have increased, no doubt, and people are following some kind of religion. They call it as a religion, but that's not religion. Basically, some kind of fanatism. That fanatism is not religion. It's not necessary. It's not. We cannot consider to be a religion. Religion means there should be proper. We should follow the scriptures. So scriptural injunctions have prominence there. But in the name of religion, now many things are happening, right? So that is also we are seeing. So in any case, the point is that women should be protected. If they are not protected, if they are mixing or the men are misusing the women, then things will be. Then there is going to be Varna Shankara, and Varna Shankara is unwanted progeny will come, and that will result in complete destruction of the family traditions. Yeah. So that is what Arjuna is now saying. Let's see further. I think we have to stop here. Let me see. We will just finish this verse and stop. Okay. Irresponsible men also provoke adultery in society, and thus unwanted children flood the human race at the risk of war and pestilence. So that's Prabhupada is saying, whatever we discuss, we already discussed about this, that how the due to the irreligion there is a degradation of womanhood, and that will result in unwanted progeny, Varna Sankara. So that is one of the reason. Again, continuing, I think 3 more verses basically in the same theme. The Arjuna is continuing the 41st verse also regarding the unwanted populations. It's basically a series of verses. I think I have given in the last, So we will discuss that tomorrow. So first is Kulakshaya, destruction of dynasty. Then he is saying that Pranashyandi Kula Dharma, the family tradition will stop. Now then third he is saying that Adharmo, then the Adharma, irreligion increases. Then he is saying that Pradushyanti Kulastriya, women will become polluted, and there is Varna Sankara, mixture of classes. And these 3 will be discussed in the coming verses. Okay, up to this we have discussed. Right, so we will continue tomorrow, Krishna willing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki